product management has to do with you being the Spider-Man of this. You are working with everybody. But product design has to do with you sitting and finding a way in which your design experience makes that product work. And it is aligned with the business goals that have been tabled down by the product manager. All right, so a product manager designer works on like 6 different things. First and foremost is the research, where you try to understand user problems. Second is the product strategy. Third is the user experience design. Fourth is the user interface design. Fifth is prototyping. And sixth is testing and iteration. You being a product manager, I want everybody to understand this. You being a product manager, you would have to have this similar experience. Product design seems to be one of the would I call it one of the structures out of like 5 or 6 different structures you are building to yourself as a um, product manager. You as a product manager, so you need to understand user research, product strategy, user experience, user interface, prototyping, and testing and iteration. There's no how you want to do it. All right, so I already explained earlier who a product manager is, but you as this explains the rules and responsibilities of you as a product manager. I would want everybody to write this down. First and foremost is you need to define the vision of your product. Secondly, you need to understand users deeply. When it comes to product management, you need to be able to understand what your customers want and find a way to build a specific feature or featured products certain around that specific product for them to use without complaints. I mean, there are always going to be complaints, and there are people that are always going to say they do not like this, but I would say with limited complaints. Thirdly, is for you to be able to prioritize what gets built. I mean, when it comes to priority of what gets built, there will be like 10 or 8 different features you are trying to push out as a product manager, or your team is trying to push out, but you would have like a scale of preference of which one is meant to go out as soon as possible and which one is meant to go out later. For example, if you have 5 different features, the one that seems to be the one that is most important has to circle around the one that is focusing on the revenue generation. I mean, which one is generating revenue fast? Because that should be like the most important out of the 5 or 6 scale of preferences. The fourth is your alignment with stakeholders. When I mean stakeholders, that means the people that are on your team, the people that are the board of directors, the CEO, and people that have a hand to say on that specific product that you are building. Fifthly, you need to guide execution from ideas to launch. So your main job as a product manager is that you are in charge of the product vision and strategy. So what do PMs to do? I explained earlier that a product manager is someone that works on the vision, the strategy, the design, and execution of a product. And I also said, oh, there will be specific tools that will be needed when it comes to guiding your vision, your strategy, your design, and execution. But before we go into them, I would like to use people in the tech industry that are circling around each and every one of these to explain what vision is, what strategy is, what design is, and what execution is. All right, so when we talk about vision, we are explaining, or we are trying to emphasize on what future are we trying to create. And on my screen now, you would see a living example of a man with vision that I personally think is a perfect representation of vision, which is Tunde Onakoya. So when you as a product manager, you need to have a vision of where your product is going to. What feature are you trying to create with that product? Piggy Vest as an example is a product that is a saving app. What feature are they trying to create? They are trying to create a universe that enhances people's savings. Interns.ng is a product on its own. What vision are they trying to create? They are trying to bridge the gap between interns and internship opportunities. Your vision as a product manager should be precise. It should not be a 4-page or 5-page book. Example of this is Tunde Onokoya's vision, which is to break the cycle of poverty by giving undeserved children access to dignity, discipline, and global opportunity, using chess as a gateway. And in our society today, we can see that is exactly what he is doing. He is not using tennis, he is not using football. He is being direct about his vision, and he is using it to his taste. And he's following the vision as he already planned it. I mean, this vision that you can see it was written 15 years ago, before he was even in the limelight, and he followed it through. So you as a product manager, you're meant to have a vision in your head that this is where you're going and this is how I want to achieve it. Next is the mission. So mission explains what you do every day to move towards the specific vision that was explained. All right, so when you have a vision in your head that this is what we want to do, your mission is what are you doing every single day to move towards that vision. Elon Musk is a given example. His mission is to make humanity a multi-planetary species, talking about how humans are meant to live in Mars. Your mission should also be as direct as your vision. Your mission also has to do with whenever you know you're going to a specific place, or you know you're trying to achieve a specific goal, which is launching a product. Your mission is also circling around the people that are around you that will get you there. It talks about if anybody on your team as a product manager is lagging when you are trying to get to your vision, you get to your vision through your mission, there is going to be a problem, meaning there is no time for anybody to slack. Your product management skills has to do with your ability to carry everybody along towards that mission, which Elon Musk is very, very good at. And he has that mission in his head. And he's always, every day, trying as much as possible to accomplish it. We can see that people that he works with too are intertwined with whatever he's trying to achieve. Every single time you see him sending rockets to Mars, people that know that, oh, we also want to go to Mars. Why don't we try this with him? So people that are interested in your missions have to agree with your goal as a product manager. You need to be able to manage your team efficiently. Thirdly is the design part, which is design talks about how you make a product easy to use for a consumer or for a user. It talks about how you make your product useful, usable, and desirable for people who interact with it. I mean, when we talk about design, Steve Jobs is a living example of that, and how he made the Apple ecosystem more easier to use and more simple, or would I call it simpler than other ecosystems. One of his main quotes is what is written on the board now. Design is not just what it looks like and feels like. Design is exactly how it works. I mean, most of us, we kind of, when we talk about design, we probably think in our head like it is something that works. It is something that is very, very fine, something that is very, very aesthetically pleasing. And it may not work in our head, but as long as it is fine, as long as it is color pink and it is shiny, we like it. But that is wrong. Your design should not only focus on user interface, which talks about it should also focus on user experience. So fourthly is execution. Execution talks about your ability to turn those driven vision and mission to life through your tenacity, your rigidity, and your rigidity and your discipline. It talks about where your strategy and your design, they stop being concepts, or they stop being a figment of your imagination, and they start being tangible results that people can see. An example is Jeff Bezos, that is known to build, apart from the one or two Amazon products that you know, Jeff Bezos is known to build products that are failed. I mean, out of like 100% of his products, from the ones that we see right now, most of them are failed at the background, and most of them have been tested in the markets. and they do not work. So he is known to always be a very big executor. So yeah, Jeff Bezos talks about execution a lot. Mostly, if you watch his interviews, he talks about how you don't let your ideas lag too much. He talks about how you try as much as possible to push whatever you have right to the market. And if you fail, you come back and you reiterate. All right, so the product triangle is known to be divided into three: the user needs and problems, the technology and feasibility, and your business goals and restraints. Your user need and problems talks about how you meet um, people's complaints. It talks about how you are trying to um, satisfy people's needs. You creating a product is showing that you are trying to solve a problem in the market. So, secondly, when it comes to the product triangle, technology and feasibility is also important. Knowing the specific technology in town and how it works and how you can infuse it. For example, AI is in the market now. You are building a product right now. How can you infuse AI into your specific products right now? And thirdly is business goals and constraints, where I mentioned earlier about pushing out features. Definitely, it says itself. Business goals and constraints talks about how your vision and mission are generating revenue too. I mean, you cannot build a product just for the sake of yourself. You need to be able to build products that people are ready and willing to use. All right, so can everybody see my screen? I'd like to know if people can see my screen. You can just like unmute your mic and let me know what you can see on my screen.
Yeah, I can see your screen.
All right, so Mr. What is your name? Can you just introduce yourself and let me know what you can see on my screen?
Yeah, at D.2. So what I can see on your screen is a child piggy stash, basically a landing page for a website.
All right then. Anybody else? Anybody else? All right, so let's just continue. So when it comes to this, you can see on your screen now. You can see like somebody holding a phone, piggy stash. You can see playful texts everywhere. This is just to let us get familiar with a product that we would want to talk about later in this class, and I want us to see and like absorb this into our minds before we go deep down. And now you can see a child holding a phone. You can see an interface that looks very user friendly and very playful. As a product manager and also a product designer, you need to be able to push out to the market. Using this as a typical example of, you need to be able to communicate to your users and your customers. You need to be able to communicate with them about what you are trying to do without sending a voice note or without doing like a screen record of yourself. It needs to be able to communicate with users without you being there at all. I mean, from what Mr. Dotun said earlier, he said piggy, he's seen a piggy stash, you can see a child holding a phone, literally talks about a child saving app. And as you can see here the onboarding process of the same child saving app that you saw earlier.